Hello, this is the lecture number 1 for the chapter sequence series for the class 11th. Now, first of all, we'll do the basics for the sequence series. And in the basics, first of all, we must know the difference between the sequence, the progression, and the series. Now, what is a sequence? Sequence is the pattern of numbers which is written in a definite order. For example, 1, 2, 4, 7, 11, 16, and so on. I have written these numbers in a definite pattern. Let us take another 2, 3, 5, 7, 11, 13, and so on. Now, these numbers are written in a definite pattern. That is, in what is the pattern in this? There's first of all 1 is added to this number, then 2 is added to this number, then 3 is added to this number, then 4 is added to this number, and then 5 is added to this number, and so on. And in this, these are the prime numbers, so which is the different patterns, and they are on infinite series, infinite numbers. It is written. Now the sequence is the representation of the some numbers in a definite pattern. Now what is the progression? Progression is that sequence which is written in a different pattern and in which we can find some formula to find any term of that sequence. For example, let us take 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, and so on. Let us take 3, 9, 27, and 81, and so on. Let us take 0, 3, 8, 15, and so on. Now, if we observe these numbers, they are written in the definite pattern that these are the sequence also. But in each sequence, we can find its any term by a definite formula. For example, for this I can write 2n. 2n means if I replace n by 1, I'll get the first term. If I replace n by 2, I'll get the second term. If I replace n by 3, I will get this term. If I replace n by 4, I will get this term, and so on. Means there is a definite formula to find any terms of this. These individual numbers are known as the terms of the sequence. Now for this, it is 3 raised to power n. If I replace n by 1, I will get this. If I replace n by 2, I'll get this. If I replace n by 3, I'll get this. If I replace n by 4, I'll get this, and so on. Now for this, it is n square minus 1. Now if I replace n by 1, I'll get this number. If I replace n by 2, I'll get this number. If I replace n by 3, I'll get this number. If I replace n by 4, I'll get this number. But in this, we cannot write any formula to find its any term of this sequence. Now the terms, this 1, 2, 4, 7, 11, these are the terms of the sequence or the progression, and this term is denoted by Tn or An. Or An I can write. That is, if I replace n by 1, I'll get the first term. If I replace n by 2, I'll get this term 4. If I replace n by this, I'll get this 4, and so on. Similarly, A1, A2, A3, A4, A5 means you have to replace n by numbers. You'll get any terms of the given sequence or progression. Let us here Tn. So this is the difference between the sequence and the progression. Now what is a series? Now series is that sequence or progression in which there is a plus or minus sign between these numbers. Like this. Or I'll take this 3 minus minus 9 minus minus 27, and so on like this. So this is the main difference between the sequence, progression, and the series. So sequence are only the representation of some number in a definite pattern, where a progression is a some representation of the numbers in a different pattern, but there is a formula to find its any term is known as the progression, and the series is that sequence of progression in which there is a plus or minus sign between these numbers. So this is the basics for the starting of this chapter, sequence and series, and some portion you have done in your class 10th also, that is the arithmetic progression you have done in your class 10th also. Now the first exercise of this of your NCERT book, just based on how to find any term of the given term. So open your NCERT book, the first exercise, and simply you have to find the terms of the given sequence or the progression. So exercise 9.1, if you see the question number 1, write the first 5 terms of the given sequence in exercise 1 to 6 whose nth term is given. So you have to find the first 5 terms. So I will take the first. So nth term is given as n plus 1. So first term will be obtained by replacing n by 1. So it will be 3. The second term will be obtained by replacing n by 2. It will be 4 2s are 8. Third term will be obtained by replacing n by 3. 3 by 2, that is 5 3s are 15. And you have to find like this. How many terms? 4 terms. So 4 plus 2, that is 6 4s are 24. And A5, that is 5. 5 plus 2, that is 7 5s are 35, and so on. So you have to find only the first 5 terms of this question number 1, or rather from 1 to 6. You have to find the first 5 terms of the given sequence. Now I am taking the another question, that is the 5th question of this exercise. Remaining you can do it very well by yourself. Now what is 5? Now the 5 is nth term is given as minus 1 raised to power n minus 1 and 5 raised to power n plus 1. So as usual, the first term minus 1 raised to power 0, replace n by 1, and 5 raised to power 1 plus 1, that is 2. So it will be 1 into 25, that is 25, like this. And like this you can find all the terms. So minus 1 raised to power, replace n by 2, it will be 1, and 5 raised to power 3, that is minus 125. And like this, the third term minus 1 raised to power, that is 2, 5 raised to power 3 plus 1, that is 4. So 1 into 5 raised to power 4, that is 625. And A4 is equal to minus 1 raised to power 4 minus 1, that is 3, 5 raised to power 5, and you can simply find these terms, which is minus 1 raised to power will be 4 and 5 raised to power 6. So like this we have find out these first 5 terms whose nth term is minus 1 raised to power n minus 1 into 5 raised to power n plus 1. You have to simply replace the values of n by 1 to 5. Now from 7 to question number 10, the nth terms are given and you have to find the indicated terms. That is, you don't have to find all the terms, you have to find only the indicated terms. That is, in question number 7, we have the nth term as 4n minus 3, and you have to find A17 and A that is 24. Means you have to find only the 17th term and the 24th term. So as usual you have to find only the 17th term. So 4 into 17 minus 3, that is 68 minus 3, that is 65 will be its 17th term. And A24, that is you have to find the 24th term. So 4 into 24 minus 3, that is 96 minus 3, that is 93. You have to find only its 24th term. Now let us take the question number 9. nth term is given as minus 1 raised to power n minus 1 and n raised to power 3, and you have to find its ninth term. So you have to simply replace the value of n by 9. So minus 1 raised to power 9 minus 1 and 9 raised to power 3, which comes out to be minus 1 raised to power 8 into 9 into 9 into 9. You will get 729 positive. So this is the question number 9. So that is from 7 to 10. Only the indicated terms you have to find. Only the indicated terms you have to find. Now from 11 to 14, some different questions are given, and you have to rate it very carefully to find what you have to find. In question number 11, the first term is given, that is a1 is given as 3, and nth term is equal to 3 times the n minus 1th term, means the previous term of an, plus 2 for all n is greater than 1. Now this formula is given for only n greater than 1 because a1 is given, and you have to find the first 5 terms. So a1 is given, now you have to find a2. So a2 will be 3, 2 minus 1, that is 1 plus 2. It means 3 into a1 is given, which is equal to 3. So 9 plus 2, 11. So this is the second term. Now similarly you can find the third term. The third term will be a, 3 minus 1 will be a2 plus 2. Now a2 we have already find it out. So 11 plus 2, that is 3 into 11, 33 plus 2, it will be 35. Similarly a4. Now a4 will be 3a, 4 minus 1, that is 3 plus 2. So it will be 3 into 35 plus 2. It means to find the any terms you need the previous term also. So 35 into 305 plus 207. Now a5, it will be as usual 3 into a4, that is 5 minus 1 plus 2, that is 3 into 107 plus 2, that is 321 plus 2, 323. So these are the first 5 terms of this given sequence. So what is the difference in this question? That to find any term of this sequence we need its previous term. That is, if we need a4 we need a3 and so on. Now in question number 12 also the same, that is a1 is given, that is minus 1. The nth term is given as an minus 1 divided by an, and n is greater than equal to 2. Means this you have to take when n is greater than equal to 2. So a1 is given, so a2 will be equal to a2 minus 1, that is a1 upon a2. See it very carefully. a1 upon a2. N is given, sorry, this is n. So this is a1 is minus 1 upon 2. Similarly a3 will be 3 minus 1, that is a2 upon 3. So a2 is minus half divided by 3, that is it will be minus 1 upon 6. Minus 1 upon 6. And similarly a4, like this you can find all the terms. So somewhat easy question it is given. Now in question number 13 also, 13 we need a1 or a2 is given as 2 and an is given as an minus 1 and n is greater than equal to 2 or greater than 2. So it means you have to take a3. So a3 will be 2 minus 1. a2 is given as 2. So 2 minus 1 is equal to 1. Then a4 will be 4 minus 1, that is a3 minus 1, that is a3 is 1, 1 minus 1 is 0. Then you have to find a5. a5 will be a4 minus 1, that is 0 minus 1, that is minus 1. This is an easy question. Now see the last question very carefully. What is given in it? It is 14. It is given that a1 is equal to a2 is given as 1, and it is given that an is equal to an minus 1 plus an minus 2 when n is greater than 2. So you have to find an plus 1 upon an you have to find when n is equal to from 1 to 5. That is you have to find, आपको क्या फाइंड करना है, when n is equal to 1 तो a2 upon a1 पता करना है, then n अगर 1 है, n अगर 2 है तो आपको फाइंड करना है a3 upon a2. सिमिलरली अगर n की वैल्यू 3 है तो आपको a4 upon a3 पता करना है, n अगर 4 है तो आपको a5 upon a4 पता करना है, अगर n की वैल्यू 5 है तो आपको a6 upon a5 पता करना है. So it means we need a1, a2 is given. So you can easily find this first that is an plus 1 upon this. But for n is equal to 2 it will be a3. So it means you have to find 3. So a3 will be a2, 3 minus 1 that is a1. So 2 plus 1 is 1 plus 1 that is 2. a3 will be 2. Now a4 will be a3 plus a2. Now a3 is 2 and a2 is 1. So it is equal to 3. Now a5 we need up to a6. So a4 plus a3 and a4 is 3 and a3 is 2. So it is equal to 5 and a6 is equal to a5 plus a4. So 5 plus 3 that is 8. Now you can put these values for n is equal to 1, a2 upon a1 that is 1 upon 1, a3 upon a2, a3 is given as 2 and upon 1, a4 upon a3 that is a4 is 3 upon a3 is 2 and a5 upon a4 that is a5 is 5 upon 3 and a6 means 8 upon 5. So this is the way you have to do this question. You have to find an plus 1 upon n plus 1 for n 1 to 5. तो पहले आप 1 की जगह n की जगह 1 plus 5 तक लिखिए. रेशो आपको पता करनी है तो पता चल जाएगा. आपको 6 तक a6 तक पता करना है तो आप a6 तक ये वैल्यू पता करेंगे. So this is the completion of exercise 1 of sequence series. We'll discuss in the next lecture. Thank you.